Hi, I'm Nisha DeGaring, host of Good Things Utah, and I've been a longtime supporter of Todd's Beliefcast. I hope you find inspiration in the courageous stories shared by the amazing people Todd features on his show. The guests serve as shoulders for us to stand on, allowing us to see a little further and cultivate belief in oneself. Remember, you have the dignity and power to change. I encourage you to keep striving and believing in yourself. Enjoy today's podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Todd Sylvester, your host of the Beliefcast. As always, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it so much. We are doing so well. We're getting out there to a lot of people, and it's because you guys tune in week after week and you share these episodes with your loved ones, and it just means the world to me. I want to thank my sponsors. Without you, this wouldn't be possible. Today, guys, I'm so excited. Today's guest is a man whose life literally began with half a heart, and yet he has spent his life creating music that gives the rest of us peace, hope, and healing. His music has been a part of my morning hour of power for the last 30 years. Wow.
That's so cool.
Paul Cardall, folks, is in the house. This is his third time back on the show. And I consider him a really good friend. I consider him a mentor. I consider him someone I look up to in my darkest moments. His music has put me in a place where I can get through it. And those who have listened to his music know exactly what I'm talking about. He's internationally recognized pianist and composer whose work lives at the intersection of faith, silence, and emotional restoration. With multiple #1 Billboard New Age albums, a career spanning nearly 3 decades, and a story that includes life-saving heart transplant, Paul doesn't just play music, he translates survival into sound. I thought of that this morning.
You wrote that.
I did. I actually wrote that.
You're good.
His journey is one of resilience, a deep spiritual reflection, where every note feels like it was earned through both struggle and grace. So today, guys, we are in for a treat, and I'd like to welcome Paul to the show. Paul Cardall, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you. That is beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I mean, to take that time and of how the music, because we all hear music differently.
Yeah, for sure.
But to have it resonate with you for what you're doing is, I mean, it's the biggest compliment in the world, so thanks.
Well, I think for those who don't know, I mean, I do this thing called my hour of power, and it's been a big part of my own recovery, to be honest. And it really starts off my day in the best way possible. And your music has always been a part of that, where it centers me. It gets me to where I need to be. It really does. It builds faith. It builds strength. It builds connection. And so it's funny because, I don't see you very often because you don't live here anymore, but you're on my mind almost every day of the week. How cool is that?
Todd, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's good to be gone, but not forgotten.
Right. Well, I mean, for those who don't know your story, you obviously had a heart transplant back in 2009, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's been 16 years. 16 years.
Wow.
Is that wild?
Wild. So if you wouldn't mind just sharing a part of that story for those who may not know what happened, obviously that started when you were born.
Yeah. I think each of us, when we dive into our lives of there's this pivotal moment that happens in our lives that really can define us in many different ways. And for me, it was having a defective heart, being born with only half a heart, barely surviving.
Yeah.
Even today, when you hear me talking, my vocal cords are a little damaged because when you operate on the human heart, open surgery, you cut into the vocal cord. So that's why I have this. Sometimes this I run out of my breath and I can't. So forgive me if that happens. But it was a culmination of a lot of time at the hospital as a child, having that fear, knowing you've got to go and they're going to stick needles in you. They're going to poke and prod you like going to test one of the frogs in middle school.
Right. Yeah.
But this was a special time with my mom. She was raising 8 of us. Jeez. My dad was working hard on a reporter salary. But I had countless surgeries where it was so important that I got him, or I wouldn't be here.
Right.
But then I got heart failure at age 32. And so, imagine you can't work.
Yeah.
You're worried about money. You're worried about whether you're going to be around for your wife or your daughter and your daughter. And so, but it got to the point where it was so bad, they listed me for the heart transplant. I was on the list for 385 days. And by the time I got the heart, I was living at Primary Children's Hospital, because those were the experts that understand congenital heart defects.
Right.
So I was like the biggest baby in the, they gave me a corner office, and it was a powerful experience to see how the medical community, I mean, humans who do superhero things and work miracles. And I was blessed that, they finally came in and they said, there's a heart for you.
Yeah.
And in that situation, you don't know if you're going to survive the surgery. So I was put into that pickle of, what kind of goodbye is this going to be?
Yeah.
And fortunately, I survived, and it has helped shape much of what I do professionally with my music.
Yeah.
In order to tap into things that are always uncomfortable.
Right.
And yet, how do we make those things become comfortable?
Right.
And through listening to music or any other type of, I don't want to say medium, but any other source, you're able to process what happened.
Yeah.
Why did this happen? And so for years, I mean, I don't share this often, but when you listen to my music, it's pretty much my journal. It's like my life experience. And people are connecting with that because we've all got our own journey.
We do.
And we need a soundtrack.
Yeah. So. Well, I think that's what's helped me so much, because I feel that from your music, right? I mean, again, we talked about survival to sound, and you took all these experiences, like you said, it's your journal, and you can feel that. It's like, I really am a huge believer you cannot fake energy. No. Like, you can feel it, and whether it's good or bad, and you can kind of, your body almost like is attuned to that. It's almost like I feel the suffering that you've gone through, but at the same time, the triumphs as I listen to your music. And man, it really does set the tone for the day. I heard from a friend of mine, one of my mentors, he said, if you win the first hour of the day, you win the day. If you lose it, you spend the rest of the day looking for it. And so I have felt like your music has helped me win the day.
Wow. You said something, what we do in the morning. You really do. I mean, it's so true.
Yeah.
What we do when we wake up, it's always fascinating to me. Everybody's process.
Right. So, obviously you're an amazing pianist, award-winning, and it's so fascinating to see how amazing you are. A couple years ago, I got to share the stage with you at that event at the Sobriety Foundation.
Yeah, that's right.
Where you got to play, and I got to speak on stage at the same time, and I was like, that was like a dream of mine, and that was such a cool moment. How young were you when you started playing, and when did you realize, hey, I think I've got a gift here?
Yeah, I was, I loved music. I'm a kid of the 80s. Late 70s, 80s, and it was the best time to listen to music because, look, at 9 o'clock, Kiss in 97, they would come on and start doing the top 10 countdown. And I had my boombox ready to record, like, you don't want that. You want the commercial to end, and you want to hit record, so you get Chicago's "You're the Inspiration."
That's so true.
Or Krista Berg's "Lady in Red," which is it still haunts me today from a school dance. But she said no, so I was like, "This song sucks."
Right, I hate this song.
Yes. But I was always listening to music, and I loved music. I wanted to be a DJ and work in a record store. But at the time, I took piano lessons for like 6 months.
Yeah.
You know, I drove to my teacher's credit,
Yeah.
she was my grandmother's sister, and she's from the 30s and 40s, so she likes waltzes. So as students, we had to learn like Joplin, stuff like that. So, so when you're like a kid and you want to learn music, you want to learn music that, you know, is popular.
Right.
You know, you want to play.
Oh, yeah.
Chicago,
exactly, yeah.
Because I can't play Steely Dan. So, but you want to play those things. So even today, I tell teachers, you know, if you're a piano teacher, ask the kid, what is your favorite song? And then reward them by giving them the sheet music to that.
Okay.
If they learn the waltz type thing.
Yeah.
So, but to get into where I started doing music, it evolved out of sitting at the piano and trying to just figure it out.
Yeah.
The piano was like a puzzle, and every note that you hit had certain texture and sound and how you hit it.
Yeah.
You could pound on it. You hit it softly. So the dynamics. And for me, it was like the human heart and brain, the emotions of highs and lows. And eventually a friend of mine who sat down at the piano could play like Root Beer Rag from Billy Joel. If you haven't heard Root Beer Rag, go check it out. It's one of Billy Joel's best.
It's amazing.
It is amazing.
I love Billy Joel too.
And so he would sit and play all this stuff, and people would gather and watch him play. And I asked him to help me even learn Heart and Soul. You know,
yeah.
I don't sing, folks. Or I'd be wealthier. No.
Yeah, right.
Sorry. Pathetic. But the bottom line is, people would gather around him, and it was just so amazing. And I wanted to learn Heart and Soul, and I couldn't even play the top part.
Right.
So this was like, I wanted to be able to play. And then I continued to sit at the piano and try to I'd put my boombox and try to hit notes that sounded like, and I could kind of I just didn't have perfect pitch, but I had a relative pitch.
You're right.
So I could try to, it's an effort.
You sure?
Yeah. Didn't sound like it, but it was an effort. Mm-hmm. So then he went on a summer trip with some other students, and there was an accident, and he ended up passing away. And I myself at that time had my third major open heart surgery, where I had been told over and over by doctors I'm not going to make it. And yet we fought, and you deal with asking questions, trying to get whatever help you need, looking elsewhere. How do I survive thing? And I ended up being really blessed and being able to live longer.
Right.
And I survived. But then when my friend was killed, how do you wrap your head around the fact that you're fighting like hell to live, and then out of nowhere, someone who's healthy is gone?
I'm sure. Yeah, that's tough.
So for me to try to process, I went to the piano and I pounded on it with frustration, confusion. And I started to kind of like I was wrestling with God. I was trying to figure out purpose, his purpose, my purpose. And in doing so, I hit a couple notes really soft, and it was a melody. And it was as though a conduit to heaven opened up, and I could feel God just put a warm blanket around me.
Wow.
Like everything is okay. His purpose fulfilled. Wow. Your purpose is unfulfilled yet, type thing. So I began creating to process. And to this day, every project that I do, whether it's Winterfield, this folk music I'm doing, or
Which I
Royal
love.
Refuge, this Christian worship stuff, or even just my piano music.
Yeah.
It's all, you know, a person behind the curtain trying to like figure out life. What does it mean? What is the purpose? Everyone will tell you what it means.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But it's an individual journey
Yeah.
that's, I think, customized differently for everybody.
Yeah. So it sounds like, you know, when you lost your friend, that's when you kind of realized that this piano, this gift and playing the piano and working through that, like you said, it's a puzzle. It was your way. You know, this is going to end up being kind of like my journal.
Yeah.
Like that's, and then it started opening up where you had this connection with God. And it, like you said, that's when things really started to maybe go in the right direction for you when it comes to playing.
Yeah, it's just I'm still like unbelievably confused why I got the opportunity to make music. And the whole purpose is it's a tool
Yeah.
to help people. I'm not an entertainer. There's nothing sexy about what I do. Honestly, it's spiritual.
Yeah.
The underbelly is to bring you in tune, because, you know, we can get into the frequencies. You know, the human body is made up of a lot of it's water.
Right.
So we hear things differently. And there's vibrations with sound waves. So as we're listening to music, you may like a band that I don't understand.
Yeah.
Because of the way that you're created.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
That's why we get in debates over who's the best. Is it Rush?
Yeah. Right. AC/DC.
AC/DC? Pink Floyd, or you
Yeah.
know, Beatles or Beach Boys?
Right.
You know? So it's a lot of it's just from how we're physically made and then how we're nurtured.
Yeah. You know, I was going to ask you this question eventually, but I'm going to do it now since what you just said. Like, you know, you were wondering, like, why do I have this gift of playing? Is it fair to say that had you not gone through these health challenges, one, would your music be completely different, or would the gift not even be there had you not gone through the challenges? What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I don't know, because when we try to dissect our lives, we get depressed.
Right. Yeah.
And in going with the flow, so I'm not paddling upstream, I just know that my life experience is interwoven with the music. Some people communicate. We all communicate in different ways.
Yeah.
And through music, I'm able to communicate feelings, but I can't necessarily like say what those specific feelings are.
Okay.
Because they're different for everybody that listens to it. You know,
Yeah.
you might be thinking about somebody you're working with that you're really concerned about,
Yeah.
and then a certain song will ignite a fire in your mind to know, okay, the way I'm doing this is good, or
Yeah.
you know, you may get an idea. So it's just it's making music is it's just, you know, I talked to Kurt Bester about this stuff, how there's people that make music and play music, and we each have our different gifts.
Right.
You know, because Utah's got how many piano players? We've got like, this is piano player heaven.
Isn't there one in every family?
There's one, you know, like, you know, and even like David Tolk,
Yeah.
who's a pianist in town. The guy is like, he's doing what I do, but he's much better. And it's like he's and I admire everything he's doing, but it's a different style.
Right.
You have John Schmidt from the Piano Guys, you know,
Yeah.
a different style, but piano.
Yeah.
Kurt Bester, the mayor of,
Yeah.
you know, Utah instrumental music.
Sure.
But it's incredible that, you know, this state, Utah, produces so many musicians that are not your commercial musicians, but independent musicians that are all telling a story that kind of people that live in Utah understand.
Yeah.
But it's projected out there into the world, and I feel like I'm on a team of people that, we don't get together and have a meeting, but just on a team that God has handpicked to try to bring comfort to other people.
Yeah.
It's a big responsibility.
Yeah, I bet it feels that way.
It's heavy.
Yeah, very heavy. Yeah. I love we were talking about this before we went live, your song, You Were Made. And I told you about how that touched me. And the first time I heard it, I cried my eyes out because I think I needed to hear that at the time because it made me feel like I mattered. And I got to share this with you, Paul, because this is so cool, because this is your influence. So I get invited to speak at this place called the Forum Academy. It's in American Fork, Utah, and it's a beautician school. These young girls out of high school are all there trying to become beauticians, and it's like a 16-month program, and they have me come speak a couple times a year. Yeah. And I love it because my message hits that age group perfectly. And I had this idea. I'm driving down there to go speak to them, right? And this was after I had heard your song, and I thought, I'm going to play that song to these girls. I just want them to listen to it. So I play the song to, there's like 60 of them, okay? And, and at first the girls were like, what are we listening to? Who's this guy, right? But I'm like, I just knew it was going to kick in. And within 60 seconds, you could tell the room all of a sudden connected. Wow. I could feel it.
Wow.
When I got done, this is going to choke me up. I'm sorry, I get emotional about this stuff. I asked these girls, I said, can you imagine if you showed up today believing you're astonishing? Like you actually believed it. And I go, just by me saying this makes you uncomfortable. And they're like, and I said, most of you showed up. I didn't say most of you. Some of you showed up today believing that you were ugly, believing you didn't matter, believing that people here at the school don't even like you. You might have even been scared to come to school today. Yeah. And I kid you not, Paul, there was like 20 of the girls in the audience crying just by me saying that. And I said, the feeling you felt in that song was a reminder that you matter. Paul, it was so powerful. I can't even. I could have walked out of that room right then and there and said, thanks for having me. See you later. Wow. So the power of music in general, as you were talking about, but that's why your music means so much to me, is because it brings that feeling of, you know what, maybe I do matter. Maybe I can make a difference, kind of thing.
I was thinking of pulling up those lyrics.
Yeah, pull them up.
I don't know. Here we go. And I, to your point, you're telling about, do you know you're astonishing? One of the things I've learned in my 53 years is that people do not understand how valuable they are.
Yeah.
Even to God.
Right.
Which is why they avoid so much stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you're the first person to mention that song because it was a deviation from my specific, piano music.
Big deviation, yeah.
So I went the electronica
route,
we talked about, being products of Depeche Mode and
yeah, right.
synthesizers
sure,
and electronic music. So that was a whole experiment of me trying to process a faith crisis.
Okay.
So that entire album, Chasing Crowns, is processing my own spiritual journey.
Wow.
And
that's amazing.
But these lyrics came so quickly, and I want to share them if that's okay.
Please do.
It says, before the world got loud, someone whispered you awake. Ooh. Said you were carved from something steady, something storms can't ever take. You were born with quiet knowing, with a lantern in your chest. And you've carried that soft glowing through the nights you never slept. You weren't sent here empty-handed. You came in with borrowed light. You were brave before your breathing. Ever learn the right from wrong, and the road won't spare you heartache. It'll test you thread and bone, but you were meant for quiet mercy in a world that tears you down. You were made to lift the weary with your hands, to speak like water to the land, to stay when others' faith lets go. You were made to help the broken gather near, to sing a song they need to hear, a song you've carried all along. And this is what you do, Todd. This is you. You know, and I could go on and read the rest, but
those are powerful
in essence,
words.
I see that's what you are, and that's what you're doing. And the people that you have that come on here, they're doing it.
Yeah.
You know, people listening, we're doing it.
Boy, the lantern in your chest, boy, that hit me. Whoa. That's amazing. I'll tell you. Thank you, by the way, for saying that. And I'm grateful to be in a position. You know, I kind of feel the same way. It's like, why am I this dude in this position? You know, kind of like, why do I have this gift of the piano? And, you know, and we all have our different gifts, and we've been through different experiences. And I think that's what makes the world so beautiful is we're all coming from a different angle, but at the same time, I think we're trying to go to the same place. Whereas, you know, do I matter? You know, so, wow.
We live in such a strange world because, you know, right now is the World Cup.
Yeah.
And, you know, without fail, everybody's talking about
Yeah.
every country. We're having this big tournament, and we're all kind of just enjoying it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we've got these leaders that are just doing weird stuff that
For sure.
people debate of what's going on and this and that. And we're not getting into politics, but it's so interesting because we're trying to just live our lives.
Right.
And there's people who think they know how to look out for us.
Yeah.
And everybody's at a certain stage in life, and you know, we pick up the crumbs where we can.
Yeah.
And we just try to move forward.
Yeah.
And don't let the world, you know, suffocate us.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, the influences of the world. Yeah, it is challenging. It really is. There's so many different voices screaming, and you know the social media aspect. I mean, I work with so many young kids that are struggling. I mean, I'm working with a 12-year-old right now who, when they first came to see me, she was suicidal. She's 12 years old.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's obviously challenges in the world. And my first question to her was, well, how long do you spend on social media? And she lowballed it. I think maybe an hour. And I thought, why don't we check? And we pull up.
Screen time.
It was almost 9 hours a day. And I looked at this poor soul and I said, this is why you feel depressed.
Yeah.
Because you are bombarded with information. And I heard a statistic once that kids nowadays get more information in 1 week than the people in the 1940s got in their lifetime. Our brains cannot, you know, calculate or process that much information. And so here's this poor girl. She's just overstimulated to the point where I can't do this anymore. And so anyway, long story short, I mean, the point is,
No, I'm with you right there.
but that's why I think your type of music, specifically yours, is such a calming, like even when I played it at the Forum Academy, these girls are all on social media, had them put their phones away. And for a minute, it took them a minute. And finally when it clicked, I'm like, guys, we're connected. Look what that song just did.
That's so good. That's so good.
We didn't need our phones.
Yeah.
This is real. This is authentic. We're here together.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's one of the blessings of your music and music in general. It brings people, we connect on the same level. And at that moment, it doesn't matter what we believe or don't believe. We're the same.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Let's talk about social media for a minute because
Sure.
Do you remember as a kid, you go through the checkout and you had the National Enquirer.
Yes.
There was the most random, bizarre things like
Yeah.
Burt Reynolds meets an alien and then falls in love with Lonnie Anderson type stuff.
Exactly.
You know?
That's so true.
And so it's the bizarre.
Yeah.
And then there were other magazines that popped up, and
Yeah.
it was always uncomfortable to go through the checkout stand with your mother.
That's so true. I remember that. Yeah.
You know?
Mom would be like, don't look at that top shelf, please.
Yeah, cosmopolitan.
Yeah.
Let's put the family plaque over that. You know, so when you're young, you're impressionable.
Yeah.
But man, every single as you scroll, it's every.
I want to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to the incredible sponsors of the Beliefcast podcast. First, Craig from Craig Swap and Associates. If you need an attorney, he's your guy. Trustworthy, compassionate, always there when you need him most. Next, Wasatch Recovery, the greatest university on the planet, transforming lives one day at a time. Sandy from Minky Couture, the creative genius behind the most comfortable blanket you'll ever wrap yourself in. Comfort like no other. Special thanks to the award-winning pianist Paul Cardall for his beautiful music that brings inspiration to every episode.
Inquire, and everything is like, it's so calculating because people need followers and likes to feel fulfilled. Maybe they didn't get a mother to hug them enough or something, or maybe there's something going on there.
Yeah.
And it's this desperate need of attention. Mm-hmm. And now we have an outlet where we can share, and we should be sharing.
Yes.
But obviously there's a balance, but what kids are absorbing, it's like we're in a stage right now where I don't want to say that we're mutating, but we are going through this massive transformation, as humans, to where we are accelerating. Yeah. But there's probably a purpose for it all.
Sure.
Hopefully we can be smart enough to figure all our crap out.
Figure that out. Yeah.
Learn to get along.
Well, it really is like these likes you were talking about and being fulfilled. Research shows that it's a dopamine effect. Oh. There's a book out there called Dopamine Nation, how we are addicted as a nation to dopamine, no matter where it's coming from. And I think that's the thing. And, I have this client, and one of the things he struggles, he was diagnosed as ADHD, right? And he was telling me, I was asking him about his schedule. I mean, he's a young kid, and we're talking like freshman in high school. He's playing Super League baseball. He's got school, which is 6-7 hours a day. He's got homework. And then he's spending 9 hours on his phone. I'm like, no wonder you have ADHD if that's really the case. Yeah. So I gave him a challenge. Listen to Paul Cardall's music for 15 minutes. Read a book, an actual book. Find one you love. I don't care if it's fiction, nonfiction, I don't care. Whatever something, if it's Star Wars, Harry Potter, I don't care. But actual book, read that for 20 minutes a day. And then let's cut back a little bit on your social media, right? And let's just see what happens. Let's give that a shot. Yeah. I kid you not, I saw this miracle happen in this kid's life. Mom comes to me crying, saying, thank you. What's going on here? And she kind of knew what we were working on. And I said, he's actually reading a physical book now. He's actually listening to some music that slows his mind down a little bit, calms his central nervous system. All this other stuff, it ramps it all up. And no wonder this poor kid's suffering. I said, so what if, and what the mom started to notice, and this took, 6 months, but she started to notice he was doing better in school, getting his homework done. Teachers were making comments to the mom, hey, your kid's a lot more focused in class, all by just making a little shift. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel it's, we know the answers.
Yeah.
But what is it that keeps us from doing what we know that is good for us? What is that?
I don't know. I think we're comfortable being in the dark.
Maybe,
I don't know.
It's not our nature to work like we work or do what we do. This is a product of the American capitalistic system, which is a blessing and a curse. Right. This idea that you have to stay busy too to deal with your thoughts instead of just dealing with your thoughts. Yeah. Like, what am I feeling? Yeah. Because I wonder how many kids as they get older have actually taken the time to know, okay, this is my angry. Yeah. This is my sad. Because they're so distracted.
Yeah.
I would say other people's feelings.
For sure. I would say the majority of kids, based on my experience in working with these kids, that most of them don't know how to deal with their emotions. Yeah. They have very low emotional intelligence just because, again, they're distracted. You know, I would have been the same way as a kid. If I had social media as a kid, I would have been sucked right into that.
We hand our kids tablets when they're toddlers, and I'm guilty of that, because at that time we're like, well, this is gonna allow us to have conversation in the minivan.
Exactly, right.
We're gonna be able to talk.
So true.
The kid's fine.
So true.
And it's like we've done damage in the pursuit of peace.
Yeah.
It's just this weird. I can't think of another time when it was like it's such a mess with our minds.
Yeah.
Instead of just worrying about things that, you know, I'm kind of going off script, but like Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah.
Not the new one. Father Ingalls. I always say to myself, what would Father Ingalls do?
Right.
Because
simpler times.
They create a simpler time, but the problems are big.
Yeah.
But that show has a great way of how to deal with those problems.
Yeah.
It's like the Sunday school lesson, but at the same time, it feels real.
Yeah.
So kids are not watching any of this stuff.
Right.
We had shows where, you know, mom and dad discuss things, and then they would, you know, punish the kids or talk to them a certain way, like Family Ties, or you know.
So true. Yeah. We don't see those anymore.
Yeah, there's no shows modeling.
Yeah.
How family is, because I know this industry enough. People want to be in a room with somebody else.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Totally.
So they surrender a part of them to be in that room, to the point where ultimately they're willing to surrender what they want in entertainment.
Yeah.
That they have to throw in things that are unnecessary to make it authentic.
Right.
And so there's more people in the entertainment business today that have a lot of unhealthy past.
Right.
You know, creatives, we tend to be a little, you know, we are the court gestures in the kingdom. We're a little dysfunctional.
Sure.
But we're the ones telling these stories.
Yeah.
And so my point being is that I understand why the entertainment's the way it is.
Yeah.
And I wish it was different.
Yeah.
You know,
when you sit down to create music, do you know, I mean, do you know when you're in the flow state and things are just like it comes to you? I mean, you have these moments where it's just flowing to you. Do you know how to put yourself in that position, or does it just happen, you know, periodically, and you just got to take advantage of it when it does?
I would say it's like the weather in Utah.
Okay.
Like you're planning on having a sunny day, getting information out, and all of a sudden there's snow.
Yep.
You know, June 28th.
Right.
For about 2 hours up the canyons.
Yeah.
Like,
it's amazing.
So it comes and it goes, but over the years, I talked to a lot of professionals. We do our best work when we've set a deadline.
Okay.
When we've given ourselves the finish line we have to cross. You know, you start the race, you try to train the best you can, and you try to end the race a certain.
Yeah.
You know, you can't delay it. They would have cleaned up the park and everybody's gone home. So it's one of those things where there's days where it just comes so quickly.
Yeah.
That I'm just trying to write whatever I can. And by writing, when I'm sitting at a piano or a keyboard and just recording ideas and thoughts, then I'll go back to those later and I'll listen to them. I'll go, that sucks. That sucks.
Right.
That's not good. Okay, this one works.
Yeah.
And I can feel that this would connect, because now I'm at a stage in my career where I'm more focused on the listener.
Yeah.
Than trying to figure out who I am as an artist.
Gotcha.
And what I need.
Yeah.
You know, God's blessed me enough to where I don't have to stress anymore about paying the bills as a musician.
So I was gonna, was gonna be one of my questions is like when you've written something, there's a part of you that like, I know this one's gonna hit. I know people are gonna really resonate with this.
No.
Is it
Yes
still
and no.
a guess?
Like, I decided to do a hymn album of just guitar music.
Mm-hmm.
But people know I'm a pianist.
Right.
So it's called 40 Hymns for Guitar.
Yep.
I basically had a studio musician play my songs.
Yeah.
And I thought, it's for people that like guitar. It's going to go out there. And this, and it is what it is. But like, I didn't expect it to like debut #1 on instrumental charts. That was not my intention. And I don't say that in terms of, because I've had plenty of those, but guitar music all of a sudden in a catalog of just piano music, to where that's one of those where it starts to land.
Yeah.
And you're like, why is this?
Yeah.
Or Winterfield, which is my outlet for poetry as a 5th generation pioneer. And processing. All of it is here in Utah, processing it all.
Yeah.
So I created this folk outlet. I write folk songs and things, and so I created Winterfield. And we've used some of the AI elements in order to create a vocal.
Yeah.
People aren't too happy about AI being used in music.
Right.
Everyone in Nashville is using AI.
Really?
To create their demos. But here's the difference between musicians and anybody can go create an AI song right now.
Right.
But they don't have a platform.
Right.
They don't know if it's going to be a hit. They
Yeah.
don't know. So it still is something that an artist needs to be behind and work through. And so when I've used it, I've basically then gone into studio and had real musicians play it, which is what we did with Winterfield. Like, if you want music for a relationship,
Yeah.
like how to understand
Yeah.
relationship, this is what this is. Dan Fogelberg fan,
For sure.
John
No,
Denver,
it's beautiful music.
Bob Dylan.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, and I love that you're going down these different avenues, because again, I've followed you forever, it feels like, and to see you start doing this too, it's really neat.
It's fun.
Yeah, I'm sure you're having a blast. You look like you're...
It's fun. I wish I could really sing. I never could.
Yeah.
I don't even try in church.
Yeah.
People have such an amazing gift to be able to do that.
Yeah.
But that's why with the AI, I can sing into a microphone, and then it'll tone it to a vocal.
To a vocal, yeah.
So it's what I would have sounded like.
Gotcha. That's fascinating.
Like one of the songs on the record is called "She's All of Me." No, She Is Fire. She Is Fire. I've got another one all about my wife.
Yeah.
But She Is Fire. So, the Enneagram.
Yeah.
Okay, if you don't know the Enneagram, look up Enneagram. There's 9 distinct characteristics, personalities.
Yeah.
And when you know what your number is, you understand a lot more about yourself. And when you know what your partner's number is, you can understand why they behave a certain way.
Right.
And you can understand how to... So my wife is an Enneagram 1, which is like an amazing, perfect, disciplined, wonderful, beautiful, sexy, smart person. And then I'm a 4, which is a creative, visionary,
type,
depressed. So...
Yeah.
But I milk that depressed thing for what I need to do. But
Sure.
So I wrote a song basically about how an Enneagram 4 and 1, it's a dance. We interweave and like look at each other like you have this, I don't have that. But you have this, but you don't have that.
Right.
So it's this powerful way of bringing a center balance to a relationship.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
that song was just merely so I could process my own personal relationship. Maybe that's too much information.
No, that's great. And again, I think that's what makes your music so good for people to listen to, because I think that's what you feel is like, man, this feels like it's personal. This isn't just something you just threw together. It's like it's coming from an experience or from someone you know and love and care about. And so I think that's what makes your music so great.
Thanks.
Yeah, one of the reasons, among many. You have millions and millions of listeners and followers that just, again, love your music, me being one of them. If there's someone like right now that's tuned into this, listening to us, and they are in a dark place struggling, what would you tell that person right now that's, looking for something right now?
Someone who's in a dark place, and I've been in a lot of dark places, I would say that the source of light, the source of love, the source of everything you need was a man that was crucified. He's a God that weeps, a God that bleeds. And he is teaching us things we need to know that are uncomfortable, because he knows the future, us.
Yeah.
It's before him now. So many of us have been hurt by religion and felt betrayed by religion.
Yeah.
Religion's good, but the way out of darkness is to embrace that light and just start to think of Jesus not as this biblical chosen figure, but as the person that's come to rescue you. So, I think about the woman at the well. There's this, the story of he walked, because I was in Israel. He walked, man, I think it took 72 hours just to go to meet her from the last, where they were before that in Canaan.
Right.
He walked that far. How many of us are willing to walk, 72 hours to change somebody's life?
Yeah.
And he's also, I love his strategy. When I was doing my master's at Liberty University, there was a book that we were assigned to read, which is called 25 Ways to Market Like Jesus.
Oh, really?
Because the oldest message, the greatest message ever came from Christ.
Yeah.
And it was a free message. The cost was his life, but he didn't ask anybody to pay for it. And it's spread because of what it is, but it's the way he communicated these are things we can do in our lives. The way he communicated was he told a woman at the well who was the gossip person of the town. He knew who she was. He knew she was hurting. He also knew her character, and he told her not to go tell anyone.
Right.
But he would tell people, don't do this, don't do that. And because it's psychology, they would go and do it.
They'd do it, yeah.
Anyways, so, that's kind of a long answer. But when I found myself in the darkest place, look, I've listened to Alan Watts. I love Alan Watts.
I'm a huge Alan Watts fan.
He is, he was
so profound.
Very, very clear. I disagree with a lot of the Gnostic stuff that he was teaching, but there's, and I've studied Buddhism and Hinduism and Taoism, and I like Taoism. I think it's
Yeah.
Taoism to me resonates in some aspect.
Yeah.
And it feels more like Christ feels kind of like Taoism for me.
Yeah.
But ultimately, man, there's nothing like this idea that God would come down and become one of us and do what he did.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm Catholic, so I have a certain way of understanding.
Yeah.
You know, but I still have my LDS understanding.
Exactly. Yeah.
And but ultimately, if you're in the darkness, you need God.
Yeah.
You know, it's in the 12 steps.
Yeah.
Let go, let go, let God.
Yep.
And what is God?
Yeah.
Define God later.
Yeah.
Hold on to that light.
Yeah.
Now, and wrestle with it.
I love that. Great answer. And I thank you for sharing, getting vulnerable with that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times people who are listening to this might be struggling with God. God is, if we could just maybe define it really quickly for you, it would be love. And when you do something kind for someone else and that feeling you felt, there's God.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, me talking to Paul right now, I feel God in this room because we're connecting and there's love here. And so anyone who's suffering, I follow what Paul just said. I really agree with that. And if you struggle with the word God for whatever reason, love. We all need, and we all appreciate love.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I'll speak for Paul right now and myself. We love you.
We do. I've ironically, I'm alive with a donor heart because he took his life.
Yeah.
He registered to be a donor at age 18. And then on his 19th birthday, he took his life. And so I've wrestled with suicide a lot. Wow. And I've had a lot of friends that have decided to transition. I don't want to say quit.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily say they're quitting.
Yeah.
They're doing something that they think is going to make things better.
Yeah.
So I can't argue with why they did it.
Yeah.
Because we never know.
We don't know.
But at the same time, somebody chose to sign up on a list and they laid their life down. And because of that, I get to live it a little longer, which is why I love Jesus. Because if you can take the heart, my sick heart out of a dying man, of me, they took my heart out, dead.
Yeah.
And they took this beautiful, young heart of this young man and they put it in my chest and temporarily raised me from the dead.
Yeah.
So we're doing this. We're raising people from the dead temporarily. So I don't have a problem with Jesus. We don't even know how the pyramids were built.
Yeah, we don't.
We're still trying to figure out a lot of things, from the ancient world that we have no clue.
Yeah. Wow. Beautifully said. And that's a really deep thing to be thinking about what you just said. That you're alive because of a heart of someone that wanted to transition.
Yeah.
And I mean, wow. And we've talked about this before, and I think even in our other episodes that we've done together. So I appreciate you sharing that because I think that is something. It is. It's one that there's tragedy involved there, but there's also a miracle involved there. I mean, wow. It's just wow. I don't even know what to say.
I didn't mean to interrupt, but
no, you're good.
After the transplant, I was able to have my daughter, be born, and we gave her the middle name of my donor, and she's 14 now.
Okay.
She was born 2 years after my transplant. She wouldn't exist had he not laid down his life. And she asked me once, because I'm also divorced and she has an amazing stepfather, she asked me once, like, okay, so if your heart was from somebody else, and she was young, she goes, does that mean I have 3 dads?
Mm.
Isn't that an interesting
Yeah.
thought of a child?
Right.
So
that gave me chills.
I said, you got 4.
Mm.
Your stepdad, me. I'm sure the donor's looking after you.
Yep.
And, God.
God, yeah.
So
Wow.
the 4th one's pretty epic. So
Pretty
that
epic.
should tell you who you are
Yeah.
and your value.
Well, again, I think people are astonishing. Your daughter's astonishing. You're astonishing. Everyone listening right now, you're astonishing.
Yeah.
And I think we take that for granted. We think, yeah, other people are astonishing, but I don't know about me. But I think that's the problem, is that again, that's why I love your music, Paul. It reminds me of who I am.
Yeah.
It really does. Like, it's every day, boom. Yep. Okay, I remember.
What do you think the key, though, Todd, is to know what you are? This is what I love about you. You're authentic.
Yeah, thank you.
This is a real purposed podcast.
Yeah.
What do you think it is that, in all your years of working with people, what is the one thing that is holding people back? We've talked about, is it this knowledge of?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely part of it, not knowing. I think the number one thing I hear, just like it's at the top of the list, is that ultimately I am not good enough. I do a lot of speaking events, as you well know, and I'll have a line of people afterwards saying, I struggle with the belief I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
And, and many people, as we all know, have gone through a lot of horrible things growing up. But it just seems it's almost universal.
Yeah.
And it's the toughest one to change, to get them to go from I'm not good enough to like, man, no, I am astonishing. And that seems like a big leap, but it really isn't.
Yeah.
It's like when I played that music at the Forum Academy, going back to your song. In that moment, they couldn't argue. You felt astonishing. Even if it was for 30 seconds, you felt it.
Yeah.
Does anyone disagree? And they were just like, no, I agree. It's like, it's there.
Yeah.
It's just been buried by these false beliefs. And ultimately, I'm just not good enough. So that's the one I see the most, Paul.
We spend our lives trying to be what other people want us to be.
Yeah.
And it took me years to realize, like when you're on an airplane and they say, oxygen, you got to first put it on you.
Yeah. And
then put it on your child.
Yeah.
And I always thought that was kind of a selfish thing, but then I understood, safety.
Right.
And it's the same thing with our own lives. We do need to be a little selfish in taking care of ourselves.
Yeah.
My wife, she's got to go to the gym.
Yeah.
She's not to the gym to try to look great.
Yeah.
She goes to the gym because she feels good.
Yeah, it's her medicine.
It's the medicine.
Right.
Yeah, that doesn't do it for me.
Yeah.
Unless I'm on a treadmill behind her.
Right.
Keep going.
Yeah.
But my thing is to just encourage people to understand their purpose.
Yeah.
Like there's something that is so special and unique about you, and you know what it is. And you just need to keep going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just keep going.
So true. And you'll find answers from other people. You might find it in a song. You might find it, you heard something on TV and that one word. James Allen, whom I'm a huge fan of, who wrote As a Man Thinketh, he has a statement from another book that says, a spoken sentence can turn the tide of history. You hear that in a song.
So true.
And it changes your course of your life.
Yeah.
Wow. And I think many times I've heard lyrics, and just the ones you even read from your song there, You Were Made. I mean, those are powerful words. Words change lives. They do. They can change your life. So, guys, just know you do matter. And I just can't thank you enough for being here, Paul. This is the third time you've been on. It felt like we've talked for 5 minutes. It went that fast. For those who want to maybe know more about your music and to get more into the newer stuff that you even got out there that may not be aware of it, what's the best way for them to learn more about you?
If you're interested, I have a website, paulcardall.com. You'll find my music on every platform.
Everywhere, yeah.
The first stuff that pops up is stuff that's been around forever.
Right.
But it would be great if you checked out some of the newer stuff like Ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because, like, if Sting does a concert, people want to hear Roxanne.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
And he's written all this new stuff.
Yeah.
But you got to hear the Roxanne.
Yep.
So it's a blessing to the musician when people continue to do that, but,
right.
But listen to some of the new stuff.
But they're into your new stuff as well. Yeah.
You don't have to be into it. Just check it out.
Check it out a little. Yeah.
Check it out, and then if you want to go back to my hymns.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Wow.
But I am so unbelievably blessed to spend time with you.
Oh,
You're one of my favorite people.
Oh, thank you.
You are a light in this community, and to know you is a gift.
Thank you. That means a lot.
But I wake up every day just either miserably happy or miserably joyful.
Right.
But
man.
I've died to get here.
Yeah.
So.
Well, thank you for being here again. And I know you're a busy man, and I'm glad that I caught you while you were in Utah. Yeah. And so great that this was kind of a last minute thing. So I'm so glad to have you on. You've been a mentor for so long in my life. Love what you're doing. Keep up the good work because the world needs it. And I love that you speak, your life through your music. I think that's what makes it so beautiful for all of us. So thank you for just being who you are as well. So
yeah, man. Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks for spending some time with me. Yeah. There you go, folks. Paul Cardall, guys, check out his new music. It really is amazing. And you will thank us later for listening to it. But thanks for tuning in. Thanks to my sponsors. I love you guys so much. Thanks for believing in this. And if you have a loved one who's struggling, send them a link to this episode. It will brighten their day. It'll give them some hope. It'll exercise their faith, and it'll get them in a better spot. And they'll realize that ultimately they really are astonishing people. I love you guys. Till next time.